Hi, everybody. Today, Thursday, the 22nd of May, 2025. Today's EON rant is brought to you by the Indiana Pacers. I'll I'll tell you what. Like last night, I was watching two games at the same time. I was watching the Yankees baseball game versus the Texas Rangers and the New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. And I wake up early in the morning, so like I get tired, so I have to go to sleep. So basically, the Yankees walked it off. I shut that game off, and then 2 minutes later, it was about 4.5 minutes to go. I believe OG Anunoby hit a layup with 4.5, and like Carlton Towns going crazy. And I'm thinking the Knicks have this game. I'm just gonna go to sleep. It started raining, started pouring, and like it woke me up at 3:30 in the morning. The rain woke me up, and I checked the phone, and I'm like, what is going on? They really lost this game. And I saw what happened. I saw that Indiana came back and all that crazy stuff that happened with all the 3 point shots that were being made and the Halliburton choke sign towards. He pointed at Reggie Miller, obviously, because he was the one who did it many years ago in 1994. And I thought to myself, this is crazy. This is like history literally repeating itself, but this is also history repeating itself from the other round for Indiana because they did the same thing to Milwaukee in game five. They did the same thing to Cleveland in game two. And Halliburton hit a three, and I understand that it bounced to the back of the rim this time and went in, but that's crazy. I mean, that's just Indiana. You got to give them credit for being resilient. And then I wake up that the owner of the Indianapolis Colts died, and his last tweet was "good luck." So I thought it was a nightmare. I really did. I thought it was like a fake thing from a movie, but things in life is a movie, I guess, and people pass away. And as far as I heard, as far as most people heard, they did not hear about Jim Irsay being sick. He was 65. He wasn't in his 70s, 80s, but you never know. Whenever God decides it's up, it's over, no matter what age you are. And well, however how it is, usually there's a cause and effect, but we I'm sure there was, but I don't know it as of now. But it's pretty crazy what happened, and I'm gonna say is Indiana is a very resilient team, and I must say the Knicks kind of got like when they say like, oh, Boston was missing all these shots, and I know the Knicks weren't, but from the other round, like people were saying that Boston was the bad team, and the Knicks fans are saying like we were the bad team. Well, you got your medicine. What they were complaining about, number one, and number two is a lot of these Knicks fans like come after the game saying like it's an easy bag. Like I heard a lot of Knicks fans playing this game like this is nice. This is gonna be so not that's not so bad. We could do this. They could do it, but you know what? It's a problem, and it's a tougher opponent to me than Boston. Even though Boston's a better talented team before Tatum got hurt, I just think like Indiana, they wear you out, and especially a Tom Thibodeau type of team that only plays so little guys. And yesterday he didn't play so little guys, and I felt like they were still tired. I mean, Cameron Payne, played more minutes than usual, and I thought he actually played well in his minutes. I thought he was giving Bronson a break. I didn't think he was off the charts great, but he did his job well. He's known to run up and down the court. He's not this guy who walks up and down the court. He runs up and down the court, and this is what his game is. But obviously, he's not their best player, and he's not their best chance of winning because that's how it is. Everybody's in foul trouble because you're playing full court game the whole time. So if it's full court the whole time, there's going to be more foul calls in both teams. But Indiana has more guys playing, and they just keep running as the series goes longer, unless it's like a 50-point blowout, which I don't know what a blowout is anymore because a 20-point, 30-point game with the 3 point line means you're not blowing out the other team anymore. And then at the same time, Indiana, they don't quit. So even if that's but unless you're blowing them out, but never nevertheless, whenever if the Knicks are not blowing them out by 50 in the second, third quarter, this series is going to be tiresome. It's going to be grueling for the Knicks, just running up and down. And both big guys, Mitch and Towns, it's not going to be an easy series, and everyone like took it like, oh, they're if they beat Boston, they could just walk through Indiana, and it hurt last year. No, this is a different year and it's a different season, and you have a different team too. Okay, so Julius Randle is more fit for this Indiana team, if healthy, which he wasn't last year, than Karl Anthony Towns is. Karl Anthony Towns is more fit for the first 3 quarters. He's not fit for the fourth quarter because he's not fit to keep running up and down the court for 4 quarters. He's not. But he is fit for the first 3 quarters to dominate the paint and get the mismatch every time, which he had a great game. But Knicks fans have to understand that this is a different year for the Knicks, and it's a different year for the Pacers. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough series. They can win, and I could see the Knicks winning in 5, and I could see the Pacers sweeping you. It could go every way in every direction this series. So don't take it like, oh, um this is easy. It's just we didn't play well the last 3 minutes. We just got to brush that up, and now we're all good. You're not all good. It's going to be a different game because they're going to brush up things too. They're not going to sit there and go like we won. They know it was a little lucky game, a little lucky bounce. They know they had problems, Indiana too, and they have a great coach, a championship coach, who, by the way, people could say that his schemes won the championship many years ago. So obviously he knows what he's doing, and knowing Rick Carlisle, following him throughout his career, he's played different styles with everybody. Okay, he played flow offense in Dallas. Then he played more plays after they won the championship because he couldn't trust the younger guys when Luka came up because he had to develop him. Then there was other guys that he had to develop. Back in the day with Indiana, after Larry Bird, they played more of a slower offense with Jermaine O'Neal and Ron Artest and those guys. It was more of a slower game. I get it, but they were slow for that period of time. That's who he is. He adapts to the players he has, and now he just plays a full 94 feet, 94 or 92 full court game, which he did not play in Dallas when they won the championship because they were an older team, but they played the flow offense because they had smart players, and they played zone defense because they couldn't really, especially the older guys, they couldn't keep up, and Dirk one-on-one with guys, so they had to play zone, and they were very good at the zone, and that's really what won the championship. So Rick Carlisle is the coach of the other team. You have to understand this. And stop saying, "Oh, we just got this." No, you could win. You could definitely win, but this is going to be a hard fought series. And if you don't think you're going to be tired in game 2 or 3 and 4 and 5, you could gladly mistaken. And if it goes if it goes to like a series about attrition, Indiana has the advantage. But if this is a series about control, like it's about the pace of play. If the Knicks can control the pace of play and slow it down, and this is about whoever gets the most rebounds, then the Knicks are going to win. But if this is about whoever runs and runs and runs, and the Knicks just run back and run back, and Indiana has the advantage. Even though yesterday when Indiana was scoring every point, the Knicks were with them. But the Knicks being with them, I mean, that's not what it's supposed to be their game. That's not their game. You can't decide to say, "Oh, we could win it in every which way possible." It's not the Chicago Bulls where they would win one game 130 to 120 back in the 90s, and the next game they'll win 85 to 80 because they okay, you want to play that way, we'll play that way because we could play defense, we could play offense. No, this is like San Antonio all those years under Popovich. If Popovich decided to play more of a fast-paced game, San Antonio would play fast with you. If you had to play with slow-paced games before they adapted under the first 4 championships, then they'll play a slow game with you, and you might win, and they might lose. You might beat them. They'll tip your cap, but they'll play their way. The Knicks are not that way. They're not like good enough to just say, "Oh, we're just gonna play their fast way because we're good enough to play whatever you decide." No, the Knicks have to decide to play slow, and the Pacers have to decide to play fast. If it's a slow game, the Pacers can't play with them. But if it's a fast game, if it's a run up and down the court, whoever's faster, and Indiana has the advantage. So you have to understand this. Cat cannot play. He cannot play a 7-game series like this. He's got to like slow it down, give him the ball in the pose, and bully the shit out of them. No, seriously. But if you sit here and just run, at the end of the games, Indiana's has the advantage. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like, Knicks fans gotta understand this. It's not like, oh, it's easy pickings. No, and don't be entitled because you haven't seen a conference championship in years. And congratulations, you made it because you haven't made it in 150 years. I'm whatever. I'm not a Yankee fan in basketball, so that's the way I look at it. But you guys somehow, I mean, I guess you're the same Yankee fans and Knicks fans, but you guys act the same way. Have a great day.